In 1823, a small white barb or Arabian horse was exhibited at the Waterloo Rooms in Pall Mall. Advertised as Marengo, Napoleon's favorite horse, who had been acquired by his master, the future emperor in Egypt, and then carried him at the Battle of Marengo, the name he bears, Austerlitz, Jena, Wagram, and of course Waterloo, where Marengo was captured. The horse immediately became a smash hit. All of popular London flocked to the Waterloo Rooms to pay their shilling for ladies and gentlemen and sixpence for children and servants to see and gawp at Napoleon's charger. When the horse died in either 1831 or 1832, there's some disagreement on the dates, his skeleton was preserved, almost like a holy relic. It then found its way to the Royal United Services Institute, and then of course to the National Army Museum, where he stands guard over the Cyborg model to this day. Now, there are two things worth highlighting here. Number one, if this is Napoleon's favorite horse, then what's he doing in Chelsea? And the answer to that is best summed up by a quote from the 1843 catalogue of Madame Tussauds. Everything connected with the late Emperor Napoleon belongs to British history. In the aftermath of Waterloo, and especially as the 18-teens became the 1820s, became the 1830s, Britain decided not only that it had won the Battle of Waterloo, we don't mention the Prussians, we don't mention the Hanoverians, we certainly don't mention the Brunswickers, the Nassaus, all of the Dutch and Belgian troops, but also that they owned Napoleon. They owned everything that the man had ever touched. He may have been emperor of the French, but he was a British circus exhibit. Marengo is a classic example of this. London also had his carriage captured at Waterloo. Portions of his toilette, his gilt shaving boxes, his cap, things that he used in as much privacy as an emperor ever receives. I said there were two things worth talking about. That's one. The other is that while this is unquestionably a horse skeleton, and we can vouch, and the National Army Museum can vouch that it is a real horse, Jill Hamilton has done extensive research into the imperial stables and found that there was never, in their lists, a horse named Marengo, nor was there any horse that matched the description of Marengo. So, we have a possible fake horse. And this too is very much in keeping with Waterloo memorabilia and Waterloo relics. Relics were so popular, they fetched so much money in terms of purchase, in terms of seeing them, that it was inevitable that the market for fake relics exploded. In some cases, this was relatively small stuff. P.T. Barnum records in his memoirs that at one point he met a manufacturer from the north of England who manufactured fake Waterloo relics that were shipped by the barrel load to Waterloo, buried, dug up again, and then sold back to English tourists. So fake relics are very much a thing. And so there is a very good possibility that Marengo here was not Napoleon's charger, but was simply a side product of Napoleon and Waterloo mania in Britain. Now, even if that is the case, he deserves his place here in the National Army Museum, because whether or not he was ever ridden by Napoleon, he is certainly part of the culture of Waterloo and the culture of British war and peace in the 19th century.